And welcome back everyone to the last 2014 World Championship deck opening. This is first place in the Masters Division, Andrew Estrada, with his Emerald King deck. And if you watch the World Championships, you know that first and second place were both Virizion Genesect decks. A brutal mirror match that I was lucky enough to be able to watch in person. My first World experience was absolutely awesome to be able to see the top competitors from all over the world go at it, and yeah, just being able to see them on the big screen and sit up there on the stage was, oh, sorry about that, didn't mean to knock the camera, was just so much fun to watch. And despite this being a mirror match, the games were actually pretty entertaining. And so I'm pretty excited to see Estrada's build of Virizion Genesect. So there's a couple of the cards, and you get a few other things with these World Champ decks. Little Pikachu pin with DC on it. Cool little booklet, and I love these booklets. Not only do they have tons of pictures from the events, but they also go through the first through fourth places in all divisions, give some information about the players, their deck lists. I actually know a couple of players that place, which I'm really excited about. Grant Manley and Alex Croxton in the senior division. Grant Manley is actually a North Carolina player, so we were all pretty stoked to see him go so far. Unfortunately, though, the U.S. really did not make a showing at in the Masters Division at all. Top four, yeah, Canada, obviously with Estrada, won first place. Igor got second, and of course, you know, he's our former world champion from Portugal. Had another Portugal player hit fourth, and then Japan was the one with the crazy Kangaskhan deck. But yeah, fourth place was also another Virizion deck. So Virizion was a great deck to play for Worlds this year. You also get, appropriately, the little green deck box. And the deck box is also for sale. Like I said, it was as well as the pin and the booklet. Fits 60 cards, unsleeved, not sleeved. So do keep that in mind. And then you get the code card that redeems the deck online. And if you give me 1 minute to just kind of sort this deck out a little bit, Pokemon just kind of mixes up everything to where so there's a town map, got a few Pokemon before we hit more supporters, and there's some scrappers mixed in with the energy. So while we have the energy in hand, we might as well show that off first. 4 plasmas, mostly for Genesect to be able to act as a catcher, bring up anything on the bench, and then 3, 6, 9 grass energy. You want a high grass count because, of course, Virizion EX is your ideal starter. Emerald Slashing to be able to load up your Genesects on the bench. 4 Virizion EXs just to be sure that he can ideally get that turn 1 Virizion. The standard, oh, he actually ran 4 Genesects. He just, he was not very teched out. We did see Shaman EX being played by Igor Costa. Estrada just decided to go just very straightforward, 4 lines. Did have 1 Mr. Mime and a Jirachi. Mr. Mime just to pretty much prevent any mostly, I guess, let's see, Kyrems and Darkrai's were probably the ones, don't remember if Landers, I don't think Landers was really that big since the fighting set hadn't come out yet, but preventing any bench damage to make sure that those Genesects weren't softened up for one-hit knockouts. And then 1 Jirachi because and I found this with testing Virizion, since the lack of Roserade, without Roserade in Virizion, sometimes you just dead draw, and there's not much you can do to get around it. So Jirachi really helps, you know, if you can Ultra Ball into that Jirachi, it's a, you know, guaranteed supporter. So our supporter lines, although I think they're kind of mixed up, 1 Colress, 4 N, 4 Sycamore, Town Map, Professor's Letter, G-Booster, enabling your Genesects to one-shot anything. 1 Colress machine, because ideally you want to attach them from your hand to be able to use Genesects ability, but every now and then you might want that Colress machine just to get the extra energy on to be able to make sure you can attack that turn. 1 Super Rod, 3 energy switch, again for the same reason, want to make sure that that energy stays on the right Pokemon. 3 muscle bands to try and get those knockouts. 4 Skylas, since you do run quite a few items. 2 enhanced hammers, that really helps with your plasma matchup. 3 Sky Arrows, 2 Shadow Triads to get back your G boosters and plasma energy if you need kind of the late game catcher. 4 Ultra Ball, and 2 Scrappers. Pretty, like I said, this Estrada just was very smart. He decided that instead of opting for a lot of tech cards, just to go very straightforward and to let his techs pretty much be the trainers. You know, Jirachi and Mr. Mime, you know, certainly help, but overall just a very straightforward deck, and I think that's simplicity sometimes is what gets it. So, and not even simplicity isn't the right word. This is by no means a simple deck. And if you watch Estrada play, I mean, he came back from, everyone thought that he was going to lose, you know, he was just dead drawing turn after turn after turn, and Igor mistakenly end him, or not mistakenly, he intended to, but, you know, many players question whether that was a mistake, but end him, and Estrada's deck was able just to take over from there. One good hand was really all it took, and off he went. So thanks everyone for watching. Again, this is a fantastic deck. Very happy that they printed a Virizion Genesect list. Although with, like I said, with 3 of your top 4 masters playing Virizion, it would have been very odd if they hadn't printed it. So stay tuned for more. I think I'll be having a few sales come up, and of course we've got lots of trades that have been coming in with the updates to binders, so stay tuned for all of those.